Welcome to another episode of Throne Mastermind Sessions. The session is beginning. All members are now expected to assume position on their throne.
Welcome to another episode of Throne Mastermind Sessions. This is Eli Marcus, and it's good to be here. So tonight, we're going to be discussing the cult of mediocrity, and we're going to be discussing the power of what you give your observation to, and the power of speaking to your observers. This lecture explores gaining mastery over your own consciousness to navigate reality with intent and purpose. We also explore the cult of mediocrity and how to avoid allowing external predatory entities from using your consciousness as a power grid to fuel a reality that does not serve you, value you, or fuel your personal evolution and self-empowerment. That's what we'll be discussing tonight. So when I think about the cult of mediocrity, that is like the default setting. That's like if you have no mastery over your reality, if you're not living the life of your dreams, you by default will be governed by and controlled by and surrounded by the cult of mediocrity. And mediocrity is subjective. So when I use the term mediocrity, don't think that I'm referring to anything material or, economic status. It's subjective to the experience that you're having in the intimate cocoon of your consciousness. Only you can judge if your reality is mediocre or not. Only you can judge if you are in the cult of mediocrity. And you can judge that based on very reasonable principles. You can judge that based on, do you feel isolated when it comes to living in your purpose, your divine purpose? Do you feel disconnected from support? Do you feel like you're in an environment, in a reality where most of the people there, they have no idea. They don't know who you are at all. Like they have no idea. They have no idea who you are as a person and what you're passionate about. Do you feel disconnected from the tools to create and build and to develop what you're here to do? Like you are so not connected to the field of reality where you are walking in purpose, talking in purpose, and on purpose. But instead, everyone you're surrounded by has a mentality that is so foreign. It's they can't even grasp. You're in the cult of mediocrity then. Only you can judge that. Are you in the cult of mediocrity? Are you in the cult of mediocrity? You judge it. Because only you know what your experience is, which is the maximized experience that anyone can have. Only you know what your experience is in the intimate cocoon of your consciousness. Because you can look like you're having any experience. You can make a bad experience look good if you're a good actor, which many people are. People can perceive you having an experience that you're not actually having. You can project a false experience. Only you know the experience in the intimate cocoon of your consciousness. Are you in the cult of mediocrity? And you're looking for a way out. There is power in what you give your observation to. Because you know me, I'm going to put it back on you. If you're in the cult of mediocrity, it's nobody's fault but your own. And you know why you're at fault? You're at fault for what you have consensually given your observation to. Because what you give your observation to gives power to that which you are observing. Literally. What you give your observation to, you are validating. What you give your observation to, you are feeding with your soul, with pieces of your soul, pieces of your existence. Anything, anyone that you choose to observe out of the trillions of things you could be observing with your existence, out of the gazillions of things that you could be observing, you're choosing to observe what you're observing at this very moment. You're choosing to observe what you're observing at any moment. And in that observation, a transaction is happening. Energy is being taken out of you and is being deposited into the field of what you're observing. Person, place, or thing, literally. This is why the more observers people can get, we call them influencers nowadays. They instantly become wealthy overnight. They instantly tap into abundance overnight, because the more observers you have, the more energy is being poured into your field. And that energy in this reality can easily convert into cash money, can easily convert into someone's bank account becoming a millionaire. All off of the principle of observation. The power of what you give your observation to. When you are observing someone or anything, someone's life, someone's story, what someone has to say, what someone is doing, for those of you who are stalking people online or offline, whether it's a celebrity or someone in your network or someone you used to know or an ex or someone you don't even like, that you're observing them because you want to know what else they got to say or what else they're doing, and you're trying to keep up with their life, you are literally depositing energy into their field of reality. You are literally giving them power to the extent that whatever you ate that day, some of that energy, because when you put food in your body, you're putting energy into your body. Some of that energy is going to your observational portal, what you're observing. And that energy travels into whatever you're observing's field. You literally, you're sending currency. Observation is currency. Glory. Observation is currency. There is power in what you give your observation to. What you give your observation to is connected to everything you're experiencing in your reality in real time. I don't care how random it looks. The random people you bump into, the random connections you end up in, the random negative and positive occurrences. Those random events are made from the ingredients of your observations. Glory. The power of what you give your observation to. A transaction is taking place. You're feeding into anyone that you're observing, whether you're hearing, seeing, or tasting, anything you're observing, you're feeding into it. Which also means, and this is an important point, the power of speaking to your observers, because who is observing you? There's power in speaking to your observers. And I know to many people, this may sound like absolutely insane. You have no idea what I'm talking about or why I'm talking like this. I'm getting you to the root of how energetic law works. I'm showing you the power grid of how energetic law works. The highway, the network of energetic law, where it begins at on a surface level. So let's talk about the power of speaking to your observers, because there are people, places, and things that are observing you. And many of you don't speak to your observers, yet you have needs and wants and desires of your heart. But you're not speaking to the full spectrum of what is observing you to its maximum potential. You're not speaking to it. You're submitting to your social conditioning. You're submitting to the belief system of what you were born into. And that's because for most of you, it's an external predatory entity that's using your consciousness as a power grid to power its reality, its matrix, its marketplace. But it doesn't value you, nor does it fuel your personal evolution in self-empowerment. Yet, you are unconsciously participating in it because you think it's the only thing in town. You think you think it's reality itself. And your participation gives currency to a reality that you don't enjoy. Yet you continue to participate in that game that you believe is just reality itself, but you were just born into a game. If you withdraw your participation and you choose to direct your attention and observation to something else, in the blink of an eye, you can melt any reality that you don't enjoy to the ground. And you can access a more desirable reality at a much faster rate than playing by the game that doesn't value you and that was not made for you to win. Glory. I said there is power in speaking to your observers. After you master controlling what you are observing, because most of you are unconsciously observing any and everything, or you're observing things on habit. You're observing garbage content. You're observing drama. You're choosing to observe toxic waste, destruction. You observe dumb conversations. You observe low-level, primal, dysfunctional confrontations between the genders, between the races. You're observing low-level dialogues, debates. You choose to participate in observing that. So, of course, your life experiences mirror that which you observe. The life experiences that you think are random, the people in your house or in your community that you think are behaving a certain way, and it's just because they're behaving that way. You're meeting a certain version of them. The people at your workplace, your career field, or whatever, the random things that happen, positive and negative, that you think is just happening off of the free will, off of those people, which is true. But what is also true, it reflects that which you choose to observe. You meet the version of them out of all the billions and trillions of activities that they do for that day. All the sequence of patterns and sequences that they do for that day, you interact with them on the field of reality, meeting a specific version of them that matches that which you observe. It produces a life experience of that which you observe. You observe drama, you choose to observe drama, drama comes into your relationship. You choose to observe toxic belief systems about an entire species of people. That comes into your reality, into your life experience. It's all interconnected. So the first step is mastering what you choose to observe. You could observe anything in the world. You wake up in the morning, you have a computer, you have a phone, you got Google, nowadays you got chat, the AI chat. You have YouTube, you can learn about anything, you can hear anything, you can follow anyone's story. You can trauma bond down in the valley of death. Or you can hear of miracles. You can observe dysfunction for generations. Or you can observe success stories for generations. You can observe victory, or you can observe failure. You can observe darkness, or you can observe light. You can observe evil, or you can observe good. I'm talking about the moments in your life where you have the sovereign decision to choose what you will observe for that day. What you've been choosing. Be honest. Look at your search bar. Look at your video history. What have you been choosing to observe? Now watch me speak in the prophetic. Tell me about your life experiences. And that's where it matches. It matches 100% of the time, doesn't it? Your life experiences matches what you've been observing. Have you been observing gossip? And what has been the content of the gossip that you've been observing? Now, what is occurring in your life experiences? It's always matching. It's always cousins. It's always kind of matching. It's always a part of the same field, the same storyline. Mastering what you choose to observe. Glory. And then mastering the power of speaking to your observers. After you master what you choose to observe, and you form habits of what you choose to observe on a daily basis. Master the art of speaking to your observers. Okay, now I'm about to blow your mind. Buckle up. Now I'm about to blow your mind. Because when you talk to people and they say, oh, I got this vision, I got this goal, I want to take my business to the next level. I'm trying to do this. I need the capital. In order to get that, I gotta submit this to that. And then they're submitting to a belief system of a game. They think it's the only game in town. So they communicate in the language of that game. They're walking down the maze of that game of how things must be done. Most people have never checked to see who or what is observing them. And most people don't properly communicate to their observers the desires of their heart to see what will reveal itself to them? There is power in speaking to your observers, positive and negative. Not everyone who's observing you is observing you for positive reasons or for positive motivations, but you need both of those energies. And when you learn to speak to your observers, the observers of your reality, the desires of your heart, in a way that provokes action, in a way that directs their energy towards action, by them even observing you, they're sending you capital, they're sending you currency, they're sending you energy, they're feeding you. And when you learn to speak to your observers in a way that provokes action, you can master spiritual and energetic law to form the formation of your desired reality. Because it's all energy at the end of the day. All this entire system is energy. It's all energy. When you swipe your card, it's just energy going to another energy. It's all energy. It's an energy highway, but you can speak above the matrix that you were born in to provoke action towards your desired reality. Because remember what I said on my last lecture. The most valuable experience is the experience you're having in the intimate cocoon of your consciousness.
This Throne Mastermind session has concluded. Visit thronemastermindsessions.com to inquire about membership and to gain access to more Throne Mastermind sessions. All members may now exit the private session.